Hey guys, I thought I would do a different, nerdier Christmas decorations video that actually talks about the type of lights and things that I used. So again, I'm starting in the same place, which is my living room entertainment center, which has a real candle and a video of a fire that I downloaded from YouTube and put it on a hard drive so it'll play and repeat. Lighted garland, lighted wreath. So pretty much all of the white lights in here are the same. They're white, twinkling, incandescent in sets of 100 that I get from Menards by the case. I have literally a case of them, and I'm going to have to buy another case next year. I try to have a whole case in backup, but this year everything's sold out, so I didn't have much chance to re-up. I started out getting them at Walgreens, which had, I think, sets of 70, and they were a little brighter. There might be a few of those still in the mix. I can't honestly tell you. Like, if you look at some of the lights on the tree and they're brighter, that could be why. Or they could just be that some of these sets have failed, and that's why they're brighter. Or it could be none of the above. It could be they're all the same brightness, and I'm just... I don't know. I got backups, though, if they go out. I hope none of the ones on the trees go out. Because those are a pain to change. These look a little brighter right here, so they could be the sets of 35. If there are any sets of 35 remaining, they would be older. And they would probably... Most of them haven't lasted this long. They, it's been since I lived in the condo. So... that's most of these sets. These little small trees, and there's, I think, 4 of them total, came pre-lit. So they don't flicker. This fake plant I've had since I lived on Badger Road, which was the apartment that had the Terra in the living room and the Lasco in the kitchen. And I put this really small Dollar Tree set of lights in there back then, and it's lasted all this time. That's the only reason there's still like a random colored set of lights. And I actually found a similar set to put in the other fake plants so they would match. These are brand new icicle lights. That's why they're not hanging down. As far as the other ones, the wires haven't really stretched out yet. This is, I think, the 3rd year for icicle lights in this window. And one section finally went dead. These come from Target, which is the only place I can still find twinkling white icicle lights. They're getting harder and harder to find. Thankfully, Menards has tons and tons and tons of the twinkling regular lights. I don't know where these LEDs came from. The little mini trees came from Dollar Tree. Literally $1 for the tree, $1 for the ornaments. And then these LEDs, which are the smallest set of LEDs that I could find. They look different, but I'm sure they're the same. So these wreaths came from Menards, and then they just have a basic set of 35 white minis. I looked for a smaller set of twinkling. 50 would do, but I couldn't find it, and 100 was too much for the wreaths. This one, I had 2 of these star toppers, and I just wanted a place to put the other one, so I just put it in the middle of the wreath. And obviously that one's on the tree. That one I think is a little more vintage looking. Not sure if you can see it. Same mini tree over here. Again, the same thing with the fake plant. The garland's all the same. These outside lights here are Philips LEDs. They're supposed to be like the really expensive high-end commercial ones. Since I leave these on year-round, I wanted some that would last. And they lasted a year, so that's pretty good. I had to I literally changed them today, and I put them on after Christmas last year. So it's not too bad. You see I've got these fairy lights from Amazon that are year-round on the banisters. They're also there, mixed in with the Christmas lights. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's LEDs here. I don't normally turn these on. I guess there's no reason not to now that it's so bright in here. They used to just kind of overwhelm, and so I didn't like them on. But now I've got so much other light that these don't really seem to overwhelm anymore. So maybe I'll put them on with make them go on and off with Christmas, or maybe I'll keep them where they are. Again, this is nothing different in here. Although I'm going to turn these fountains off so I don't forget. Alexa, fountains off. Alexa, fountains off.
Okay.
These are, I think they're Philips as well. They're meant to be like real glow or something like that. They're meant to be LEDs that look like incandescents. I'm not convinced yet. If I was, you'd start seeing these outside and everywhere else. They're closer, sure, but I don't think they're the same thing. And only reason I did them down here is just I wanted to have something that I could have exposed instead of hidden. These kind of looking like mini C7s or C9s I thought was cool enough to do that. Maybe next year I'll do real C7s or C9s down here, either LED or incandescent. The trees down here I'll have mini incandescents. That's kind of ironic. The other lights are LED and the trees are incandescent. And, you know, upstairs it's vice versa. I'm trying to gradually just work my way in. Nothing new and Christmassy in here with the LEDs. But there's just nothing like the warmth of the incandescents. And I'll show you this time. So these are multicolored twinkling lights that I got from Target a few years ago, and they don't sell them anymore. You can see them kind of behind the blinds. And so when a section went out on those, I went on eBay to get a replacement because I was hoping that eventually I'd be able to find some, and still haven't. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the plan's gonna be there. Put a hat on before we go outside. It's cold. Yeah, I don't like change. I guess I'll have to change to something else for that window, but I like those. Yeah, I should have these come on with Christmas. We'll see. So, not gonna move around much. Everything out here is 100 count multicolor incandescents, except where I'll point out. Obviously the spiral trees, I don't know what the count is, but they're incandescents. That's just why they sell them. I wouldn't mind if those were LED. These down here are twinkling LED C7s. Menards had them and I wanted to try them. And I mean, the twinkling pattern is about the same as if you had real twinkling C7s, because there's just going to be some bulbs that are on all the time and some bulbs that are not. But, yeah, I'm not sold on them enough to do a whole house in them. Plus, they're pretty expensive. It's like $15 for that short string. I did there. I did above the garage in those, because I had enough strings for that. And then let's see if I have... Like I said, I'm not going all the way out in the street. It's too windy. These are globe LED, I think they're called G30, which is interesting because normally 30 means like a bath vanity size. So I don't know why. Actually, you know what? I could probably show you. Right here. G30. They came from Walmart. So what happened is I couldn't go on the roof because you know, you guys have heard all my health stuff this year. So the neighbor that lives in that house him and another neighbor went on the roof for me. And that's what he used over there, and he recommended it. So I went to Walmart because it was the only place I could go and come back in time to get the help that I needed. And those were the only thing that I saw there that I liked, so I went with his recommendation. And I mean, I think they look a little warmer than most LEDs, but on the other hand, they're still bluer than the incandescents. It's all incandescent over there, by the way. And I've heard they don't last. I don't know, his have lasted a couple seasons. So we'll see how long these last. Next year, if some of the sections on those don't work, I'm probably going to go to like a commercial grade for the roof. Okay. I think that covers all the Christmas nerding. I haven't counted the bulbs. I know it takes about... I want to say it takes about 30 strings to do the yard. 30? Does that seem right? That can't be right. Let's see, when he asked me to do the neighbor's house, that was like $100 in lights at $3 a string. So 100 divided by 3, yeah. So, because that's including the house itself. So including the ones in the house itself, not the roof, we're talking about 30 strings. So we'd have 30, 60, 90 strings of mini incandescents out here on 3 different circuits, plus the LEDs on the roof. That's 3 of those 100 count strings on my roof. I didn't do anybody else's roof. Plus, yeah, I don't really count the LEDs, but I guess I should. So 300 lights on the roof, and then 600 lights on the yards compared with all 3 yards combined. I wish I knew what the spiral trees were. We're gonna round up and say, I know 600. That's not right. That'd be 6,000. Wow, shit. It's a lot of lights. Fuck. Because, yeah, it does take a lot of strings to circle the yards and do the house. So, and with that big tree, that's part of why it took so many. There's no... So we'll count the spiral trees. So we'll say the spiral trees are equal to the big tree. So, with the spiral trees, that's 300 lights on the roof and 6,000 lights among 3 yards. Am I doing that math correctly? It took 30 sets to do 1 yard, and there's 3 yards, so 30 times 3, that's 90. 900, 9,000. 9,000 mini, okay, maybe it is. That seems like way too many, but maybe not, because I mean you can't really see it with the snow, which is how I like it. I like them just barely peeking through the snow. I used to do that all the time as a kid. But I mean, you've got each yard is circled with lights. So you've got, and then I also did the little space in between the yards. I didn't actually go on the property lines. I went with the buildings. So there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. So it's like it was divided up into 5 yards and not 3. And, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of lights. Let's see how many it is in here. So, this is 2 sets of 100. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 sets of 100, not counting the tree, not counting the wreaths. So we'll add the wreaths and the little trees. We'll make those all 100, so 15. We'll say 16 because then there's the other little trees. I'm just rounding here. 16 sets of 100. I think there's about 10 sets on that tree of 100, or some of them might have been 35. I know from like there up is one set, like from that green light bulb ornament up is one set, and then everything else takes a lot more lights because I go all the way back into the tree. I don't just do the outside or the inside. I do like three-dimensional. So one, that's probably 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere between 6 and 10 sets on there. So let's just say 8. So we've got 15 and 8. That's 23. I don't like that number. We'll say 24. Well, not counting the icicle lights. The icicle lights are 2 sets of 150 for each window. So that's technically 3 100s. So, okay, so we were at 23. I'm going to go back to 23. And so then 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32 if you count the upstairs bedroom. And if you count the oh, by the way, this is just a fiber optic tree that I bought at Walmart, and nothing special about it. I just, you know, it's something to have in the little hallway there, just so there's some Christmas spirit. Okay, so we're at 32, and then there's 3 sets of those C9 copy LED downstairs things, Real Glow or whatever they're called. So 35. And then let's just combine all the mini trees downstairs together. 36, 37, 38, 39 for the window lights down there. So let's just say 40. There's 40 sets of mostly incandescent. One, you know, we're using 100 as the metric. So that would be 400, 4,000. So there's 4,000 rounding mini LEDs inside. So yeah, that makes sense. That between that, there's 4,000 inside. That outside, among 3 yards and my roof, that there would be almost 10,000 mini LEDs. So, you want to calculate the, not mini LEDs, they're mostly incandescents. How many, have I said mini LEDs this whole time? You guys know I usually film these at like 1 a.m. because it's the only time when I'm done with like normal stuff and can devote to filming. By the way, that bookshelf, doesn't that look nice? My wife organized that. It's a combination of books and, you know, storage. This one, I mean, she organized it as well, but that's all boxes of stuff that she's going to ship out. One day that's all going to be books, I assume. It's ironic. That's what's in these drawers is books. We got drawers in the, books in the drawers, and then boxes on the bookshelves. So yeah, you guys can calculate what the current draw is. If we're going just incandescent, then you would take away so let's start again. Inside 40, 39, about, yeah, I'd say 36 of the roughly 40 strings inside are incandescent. So yeah, multiply 36 times whatever a string of 100 mini lights draws. I've never put one on a kilowatt. I'm not sure. I'd guess it's between 10 and 20 watts. But that's a shot. Well, you know what? Let's look here. If that doesn't work, I'll go to the garage. $100 mini lights watts. Let's see. That's all I can do with one hand. Oh, 40 watts. Okay. So let's 40 watts times 36 strings. Oh, yeah. So no wonder we haven't tripped the breaker. Even if they're all on one circuit, which they're not, we're still... Just in case you're curious what my other windows are open, I was trying to find my grandma's, something similar to my grandma's fudge recipe. Just since I'm showing you, that's what I've got a bunch of fudge recipes in my Google search results. My mom used to make it every year for Christmas, but we're not having a family Christmas this year, so I was going to try to make it, and I don't have the recipe, so I was just Googling the ingredients and seeing what other fudge recipes came up. It has semi-sweet chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, sweetened condensed milk, so I found a few different recipes that all have those ingredients, and I'm going to... Anyhow, that's not what the video is about, but just in case you were peeking at my computer, it's not porn, it's the... I guess food porn if there's pictures. Let's see, is there? No, it's just all search results. Well, it's interesting that we found the Paula Deen one and she's a racist, but I'll use her recipe if it's the closest to the old family recipe. Anyhow, now I want to see if how close that is. I want to see... And LEDs, yeah, LED wattage is basically insignificant. So... Outside, we calculated, so on my side, on my circuit, we're for the 3 yards, we're using 3 circuits, but it's not split up evenly by yard because that one tree uses so many sets that it needed its own circuit. So so there's 2 circuits from over there. And one is for the yard and one is for the tree. And then my circuit is doing everything on this side, both my house and the neighbor's house. So let's, we said what? 90, right? So, that's because it's a big tree. So over there, let's recalculate. Over there, with the big tree, took 30 sets. But I'd say at least 10 of those sets were the big tree. So let's say 20 sets for the yard. So then there'd be, let's say, 20, that's 40 over here. And 40 for the yard over there. So... 20. Yeah, let's just say it's the equivalent of about 40 sets on each circuit. No. Yeah, it's over here, that would be like 40. One of these years I'll count them while I'm putting them in. How did I do that math? Let me just think about it now. It takes 1, 2, 3, about 4 sets to go across the house, about I'm really lost at how I calculated that. I know it took, like I said, I bought 30 sets to do the neighbor's house, but that had the tree. So if 20 are for the yard and 10 for the tree, then 20 and 20 over here. So we would have 40, 60, 70. So I think I was over... Well, no, because I was including the LEDs. So when I got up to like 90 sets, I think we were pretty close when we got to include... No, that was an additional 20. That was like 3. So, yeah, I think I was over by like roughly 10 or 15 sets with my estimates for outside. Because I forgot about the big tree, and the big tree's not... Anyhow, so here's what I'm going to do. Because now you got me curious, and it's your fault. And I've been watching a lot of videos by... What's the guy's name? Alec, Technology Connections, who goes into a lot of detail. And I'm not going to do any of the polish that he does on his videos. I can't let you in. You don't live in my house. I could... If you go outside, it's your own fault. My God. Neighbor's cat sneaks outside and then begs to get in when there's nobody to let him in. Alexa, garage on. And he thinks I can let him in. But I can't. Because I don't live in his house and he doesn't live in mine. I let him in. Well, Abby let him in one time. And, okay, so I'm going to put this on the stand so that I can open this package and I can show you what's going on here. This is the kind of high production value you come to expect from my videos at... Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 2:20 a.m.
At 2 a.m. I'm sure my wife's furious. I was going to be done with this by midnight. But I filmed all the ceiling fans. I filmed all the decorations twice. Come on, box. So this will be a really great video. Take that, Technology Connections. You didn't think to put twinkling lights on a kilowatt. So, okay, well, voltage is close to 120. It's very rarely close to 120. It's usually more than that. So let's start with amps. So this is what I have. Same thing, actually, that he used in his video. Menard's set of 100 twinkling. Which is nothing to do with his video, and simply because that's what's in the majority of my house. So let's plug them in. Yeah, I think that estimate was a little high on the web. They're getting the current draw is going up a little bit as they start twinkling. Okay. Oh, we're not that far off. Because there's a power, I bet you that's got to be a power factor of 1, yeah. So let's see if they have a power factor of 1 from start. No. But only for a split second. Okay, let's check the wattage. Because it's going to be a lot lower when the power factor is lower. Interesting. I'm going to go get a set. What? What did I just say? I'm going to go get a set of normal mini Christmas lights, non-twinkling. I'm trying to see if I can keep these in frame somehow. And the machine. What if I... Yeah! Oh! Again, this is the high protection value that you should come to expect from my channel. Bam. Lamp meter in more ways than one. So I'm going to go and go in that same box outside talk to the cat some more. And see if I can just get a regular set of like Target minis. Maybe I'll get some LEDs too. I'll see what is easily accessible. His ass out there is so cold. That's what you get. What would you think is going to happen if you sneak out during a snowstorm? Cats are fucking smart. He knows. Okay. I found this set of LEDs. Don't know anything about it, but it was in my bin. And then 100 minis from Walmart. These are the cheapest, most terrible 100 minis. But Target, my normal go-to, was out of hundreds by the time the neighbor asked me to do stuff. So, in order to do the neighbor's house, I had to buy them from somewhere else. And Walmart was the only place that still had 100 minis in stock in the quantity that I needed, and I wanted them all to match. Well, I take that back. Menards had them too, but their sets were like 2 to 3 feet shorter, and I wanted them to be all the same length as the Target ones. So, but yeah, the Walmart ones are really cheap. I've had so many that didn't work out of the box. I've had broken bulbs out of the box, fuses that blew within the first few hours of, you know. So let's try Amperage first. About the same. Can you see them? I guess I could just... These aren't going to reach. Well, what if I... But now you see all my junk in the background, and that's not what I want. There, look at that. Okay. Power factor of 1, which I assumed, like any incandescent bulb. Let's wait for it to... Okay. I don't expect these to do much different. Oh, they got a little warm-up time there. Okay. These are right on where they said 40 watts. They weren't kidding. My phone is giving me a low battery indicator. So there we go. That should take care of that. Yeah, these hit the nail on the head with the 40 watts. Were they? Yeah. So, I guess I should have just done the math. Because what are they? 2.5 a piece? 100, 120? No. That would be 120 divided by... Now, why am I dividing voltage? What the heck am I doing? Anyhow, yeah, if I wasn't so tired and if I had a calculator in front of me, I could have just divided down. Does it even say what the bulbs are? Sometimes it says on the box. .5. That's what I said. I thought they're 2.5 volts because they're in series, so you tally the voltage, not the wattage. Interesting. Yeah, that's what you get when I'm filming late at night. So yeah, the 40 watt calculation was right on point for outside, but high for inside for the simple reason that the twinkling lights actually use less. which just adds to the reason why I love them. I will say the Menards twinkling lights are dimmer than I am used to, which is not necessarily a deal breaker. Why won't these go back in the box? I don't know how they pack these, but it's really hard to get them back in the box, and I don't want to break any bulbs, so I got the Menards ones back in the box. The Walmart ones just suck. Okay, so I don't know how, the caveat is I don't know how many LEDs are on this string, because I don't even know where I got these or what for. That is not very many watts. Okay, power factor is higher than I thought it would be, but still, it's a barely measurable current draw. Yeah, there's a reason why LEDs. Of course, these appear to be kind of cheap. You can see them flickering. I don't know if the expensive ones... How much do you care about this video? Should I go to the car and get a chain of expensive ones that we can try? Of 100 LEDs? I have a spare set, so don't tempt me. Fine, I'll do it. I'll go to the car. I'll get the spare set. And we'll solve the mystery. I'll be right back. Okay, you're not going to suck me into any more testing after this because I have to pee. So, here we have the thing that's on the roof. 100, globe, holiday time, fancy pants, LEDs. These are like 20 bucks for the spool. Do I have an extension cord? Because this is not... I just need a little pigtail. Let's see here. So you can't really see the whole thing. 2.5 watts. Power factor. Closer to 1. I mean, I'm impressed at how little current a good set. Not that these are a great set per se, they're still a little flickery, and I've heard they don't last. But we'll call them a good set. I'm surprised at how little current they use. I mean, I was expecting like 5 watts for a set, not 2.5. As a set of 100. So, I mean, yeah, you're saving a ton of money going by LEDs. I mean, well, let's, here. So keep in mind, I'm exhausted, so don't expect correct math. Alexa, garage off. Put these down here. Alexa, first floor lights off. Alexa, everything but fans off. Okay, let's I need to plug this phone in again up here. So what did we say? For the inside, we said there was like 36 sets of incandescents at like 33 watts. Okay, and then the ones inside, probably, I turn them on when I get up about 10 a.m. and they go, I turn them off when I go to bed about 3 a.m. So that's what, 12 hours plus 3, 15 hours a day. Times, I put them up, let's just say December, January, let's say 75 days to be safe. Okay. Divided by 1,000. I think the current kilowatt rating is like 11 cents, but it could be 13. I'm not sure, so I'm going to go with 12 just because it's in between the two that I think it is. So for 2.5 months to run all of them, it should be, of course, my electric bill is monthly, so let's divide that by the 2.5. So it should add like $60 to my bill if I run these the entire time that I'm up. Whereas, that's not nothing to sneeze at. If I was using LEDs, 36 times, let's say 3 watts. But of course, there aren't really good LED twinkle lights, but I digress. Times 15 hours a day, 75 days. Now we're talking about $14 total. Or $6 a month. So yeah, it is. You would save a lot of money with LEDs versus incandescents. Now, as soon as they come out with LEDs that twinkle, I'll switch to them, but in the meantime, I'm gonna pay for my Christmas spirit. I don't think it actually ends up being that much, though, because my bill in the winter is rarely over. My electric bill in the summer is expensive when we run the air conditioner, but in the winter, it's rarely over $200, and even on the months where there's no Christmas lights and not a lot of heat, it's still like $150 just with fans and cooking are the most, after you take away air conditioning and heat, and then I think televisions and then fans, just because there's so many of them and we run them on high, are probably the biggest, current draws. But yeah, so it's probably, the good news is that we don't have to really heat the house with all these Christmas lights. Okay, that's my cue to end the video. The TV shut off, no more fireplace. A lot of my math is probably wrong because it's late, and if you stuck with me 45 minutes in, then kudos to you, and feel free to correct my math in the comments. But that's all the video you're getting. That's way more nerding out than I was counting on. So, hope you enjoyed it, and Merry Christmas.